And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are about to venture off into our first segment for the morning. Actually, the topic, Belize International Symposium on Education, BICE. Now, what is it? We'll be talking to the professionals in just a few. Now, this is going to be at the Ramada Princess, Belize City, 4th to the 7th January 2019. We're venturing off very far. But nonetheless, in with us, we've got Dr. Alberto August, who is the founder of La Isla Cariñosa Academy, and Dr. Pamela Cook, Executive Director, Belize International Symposium on Education. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Yes.
And you guys are here to remind us that there is work ahead in 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes, there is. But we're really getting a head start. Your symposium is just 1 week away, and it gives everybody an opportunity to understand more about BICE, which is commemorating its 10th anniversary. Is that
Correct.
right?
Anniversary, yes, 10 years.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
to be a theme around here. We had our 10th anniversary this year
Yes.
too.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. But so let's take us back to 2008 then, in how the decision was made to create a symposium exclusively on education.
Yes, we had several professors, actually about 10 people from UB and other various institutions here. Dr. August was a part of that, Dr. Priscilla Lopez from UB, several other professors, and we sat at the Ramada. That's where it all began.
Oh.
And we sat down by the pool and we discussed ways, what could we do for the country of Belize? What could we do to promote educational opportunities, professional ways that they can develop? And so then that's how it all started. And so every year we've been bringing in internationals from various countries. This year, hopefully, if this lady gets her document, she'll be coming from Africa. So we've had a variety of people coming from just a variety of countries, so it's exciting.
Now, this type of symposium is really looking at the research portion of education as well. What are people doing? What works? What doesn't work?
Exactly.
Does it work on a thematic basis?
Yes, yes. And in past years, we've had themes. But this year, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted the professors and educators to think back. What have they done in their community, in their church, in their university campus, or just in their country? What have they done in the last 10 years that has made a difference?
You know, I wanted to venture off and say I could just imagine what would have been your cocktail in that particular date, because it's always about that hanging out by a pool 10 years ago. But nonetheless, it is so nice to know that we could actually have an Belize International Symposium on education, which for us or for the world is priority A.
Absolutely.
So far, what have we yielded?
We are learning so many different variety of things, and as I mentioned before, Dr. August in writing his book, what comes out of this are professors getting excited about learning, getting excited about education, learning from each other, exchanging knowledge, and that's what a symposium does. It allows you to discuss. A little bit different than a conference, whereas a conference you choose, but a symposium you actually discuss. So we can hear the presenter, we can then ask questions right there and get feedback immediately. So that's really the difference.
So there seems to be a mix of international and local educators sharing their information together. How do you ensure that there is some kind of symbiotic relationship that both are able to gain from the symposium?
Well, I think the discussions, going back to the discussions, you probably want to interject here. When you have that opportunity to meet and greet, and we have breaks throughout the whole day, and so they immediately get that feedback, like I said, and they also have that chance to network, and then they can talk to the presenter, and they can learn immediately. And then there are students that come as well. So we have that interaction between professors, educators, teachers, students.
Yeah.
It's a nice day.
So Dr. August, we know you as well as Dr. Lopez Brown work to educate the up-and-coming teachers as well.
Yes.
So tell us about what the experience has been like being involved in this symposium.
Well, first of all, it's a very motivating experience for me. You know, through the BICE conference as well, Dr. Pamela Cook has put together a book entitled Educational Trends. So we've had 2 volumes of that, you know, 2 volumes of that so far. I've published in both of the documents, and motivating because it allows me to, as she said, learn and to share. And so I even published my own book. You know, it took me to that level to publishing my own book. So it is a wonderful experience, motivating experience, and we encourage especially Belizeans to attend. We get indeed a lot of internationals, which is wonderful. The presentations are excellent, but we want to encourage more Belizeans, especially at our 10th year. This is a great year for Belizeans to learn and to come to a conference that takes place in Belize about education.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, it's fascinating to me when you talk about putting together the educational trends. How much have they changed over the course of 10 years?
Well, some have changed and some have not changed. It just really depends on stateside versus in Belize as well. I know Belize continues to upgrade, continues to find new ways of teaching. All of the presenters, the Belizean presenters in the past, we've had Dr. Huds, she was from UB, she presented on all of her ways that you work with your Creole here and you're working with many different dialects. And it was excellent research on that, and she presented that, which was in our second volume of our book. We've had other professors from UB and Galen University. I think it allows those professors to come in and be able to exchange their new ideas and learn from others. So it's a real exchange effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you find the most need for change? Are we looking at the pedagogy or are we looking at the curriculum?
Good question.
We are looking at both. Honestly, it's both. We need to look at first the curriculum and then the pedagogy. What I've noticed that in the past we've revised our curriculum already. A couple times already in the past, but to synchronize the pedagogy to go along with the curriculum is even a further need. And so I'm working as well on another book to share with Belize, hopefully in summer, to complement pedagogy with our curriculum, hopefully to be published in summer.
When it comes to the educational aspect of this country and the Ministry of Education, what's the conversation there in trying to get these folks on board so we could continue with better educational aspect for Belize?
Well, I'm always in contact with a variety of those folks from University of Belize, also the MOE. Dr. Lopez's husband, Shamar Lopez, is really a help, and he's given me a lot of insight too into the MOE and to helping. We're offering actual hours of professional development, and that's what I talked about before, is we want to provide an opportunity for Belizeans as well as internationals to come and be able to have this chance to present. And this year we have LICA, we have teachers from LICA, we also have Dr. Lopez bringing a student from UB. We have teachers and educators from other areas coming in as well, Bemapans coming in. We've got a variety of people coming from Belize. So this is a chance, this is an opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I can only imagine that you host a symposium and everyone is so energized to be able to implement changes within their own classrooms. And I know from my experience in speaking with teachers, there's always a drive by great teachers to want to do better for their children. But it also is working within a structure, a hierarchy of administrators and school managers. How do you fit that into the context of your symposium? Because there can be great ideas on how to improve your teaching skills, but you still have to be managed by the structure that you're within.
Well, I think it helps too. We have two university groups that are coming in, Texas A&M University, Washburn University from Kansas, and they bring students, and we take those students out into your community.
Okay.
And they volunteer into the schools. They're going to LICA, they're going to different schools, public schools within the area here. And I think that helps. I think that helps to provide something for your teachers in these different areas. So I think that's another contribution.
Yeah. So, Dr. August, let's shift to you for a second. You have published an autobiography. It's called From Island Boy to Professor, an educational journey.
Yes.
So, what prompted the book?
Oh my goodness. Honestly,
Yes.
the BICE conference, so that I could write. This book basically shares. I've been writing this for 5 years now, and it shares the educational aspect of my life. So from the primary school years all the way to the university before I took off to go to Malaysia.
I was gonna get there.
So it tracks my life, as a student, and as a teacher, and especially as a teacher working with children, working with parents, working with teachers, and being an administrator and a leader in the country of Belize in the educational area. But yes, and I thought that I had to share all these ideas and my challenges as well as my rewards, because I've had a lot of rewards in my teaching career. But I've also had a lot of challenges in the different areas with meeting with the different people.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, I would imagine is very interesting from your story is, Kikocker is a village.
Yes, it is.
And there are limited educational opportunities there when you were growing up.
Correct.
And how you were able to still use the setting that existed and still be able to strive to the point now that you are a professor in Malaysia at a university.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm a professor at the University of Nottingham.
Yeah.
It's a United Kingdom institution, but the sub-campus, one of the campuses in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what would you say has been one of the biggest motivations in keeping you on this particular path?
Working with teachers and developing our country. I think it's using teachers, and because teachers have the power to make changes, to make this change with children, for every generation. And so we need to focus on children so to improve our community. We have a lot to improve on, the country of Belize, and I believe we can. We have our challenges, but we can do it. And I think if a group of teachers, if we all combine together to put our thoughts together on how to make Belize a great country, it's absolutely possible. And I will never give up on that.
There had to be some moment in your childhood where you had an interaction with a teacher that kind of prompted this particular path. Have you been able to identify that?
Absolutely. In primary school and especially in high school,
Tell
I
us about
had
it.
great teachers, and it's mentioned in there. I had great teachers. One of my greatest inspirator was Cathy Esquivel. She was my mathematics teacher. And so Cathy Esquivel really inspired me and taught me, about not only mathematics, about life, and how life could be simple as mathematics, and that was my first drive, that was my first drive, that one teacher, Cathy Esquivel.
So, one of the things I always say, in order for us to continue forward in our country, we need to have people who are exposed, and we talk about this a lot. We need to have people who have been there, who have seen new things. I've got to issue to you, though, congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
This is very good. And one of the things that I'm getting from it is that it shows life from here to yay.
Yes.
And people have to understand that it's not a giving up situation, because these things will eventually have their trial and tribulations, like they would say. What is it like for you working out or living out in Malaysia, seeing the educational aspect, teaching education there, being that you're exposed now? What would be some of the things that you would change automatically right here at home?
We need to focus on a moral curriculum.
You took a long breath there.
We need to focus on a moral curriculum.
What is a moral curriculum?
Teaching character values more than focusing on academics. See, character value goes further, and this is what I noticed, like in Japan. In Japan, in Malaysia, they focus on character of a person. Yes, the academic aspect is there. That will come along, but the character value. Having a moral curriculum and focus on that part in all your content area, then that will certainly.
You said moral, and I thought religious, because that's kind of where we are in Belize when we think of morality. But I love what you're talking about. It's really the wholesome development of a child. From early childhood, which I know is your area of expertise. It's fascinating to see. I think there's so much more exposure in understanding what the needs of children are in helping them to become better citizens and better adults. But we still don't see our education system keeping up as much. I see quite a lot of, and I say it all the time, I have school tours that come here and I see different types of children. I see some that are open and brave enough to ask any questions that they want. They're inquisitive, they're curious. And I still see some who are waiting for instructions to sit on a chair. And it concerns me because it really shows the different levels that schools are at.
Yes.
When you look at the educational sector in Belize and you have these presentations, where do you think we are seeing the greatest obstacle in being able to move into the wholesome development of the child rather than just the academic focus?
Well, I think, if I might interject here, I think it all stems back to development and teachers understanding development and understanding how a child is wired up. And once they start to begin to understand that, then they can see individualized areas in each child, and they can just pinpoint where they need to zero in and help that child. I think that all stems back to development, and I think that's important to help our teachers understand that. So.
You know, for most of us, we grew up in a speak when spoken to
Yes.
world.
Yes.
That's and
Yes.
it becomes cultural.
Yes.
And I think though, when it comes to even teachers being prepared to get in a classroom, this is one of the things that they're not prepared for. And you know, so it's so good to know that you mentioned that character of somebody, because when you're able to speak up, it actually builds points for you. What are your thoughts on how we could change this, especially teaching teachers to teach a child how to build moral character? What are your thoughts on this?
One thing that I learned over the years is putting three things together: critical thinking, creativity, and self-expression. You see, the self-expression allows a person to, of course, express himself or herself. The creativity thinking allows you to think about possible ways of how to address any problem, not only academic problems, any problem in life. And creativity allows a person to grow and to develop. You know, we need to integrate those into our curriculum.
So tell us about some of the people who'll be presenting at this year's symposium.
Yes.
Well, we have about 20 presenters on Friday, which is the largest day. It's the day where we have people coming in from a variety of areas, like I had mentioned before, in different countries and such, Canada, US, and then hopefully Africa. But we just have a variety of topics, one of which is very interesting. We're talking about different nutritional values. We're looking at eating values. You know, this is a huge problem in many different areas of our country, and we want to look at how children are eating, and hopefully that will help them actually be a better student, obviously. So we're looking at that, and we're looking at different ways that they can get energy, and kinesthetic learners, and what can we do to help kinesthetic learners. We're looking at different ways to teach, which is good and healthy. We're looking at emotional development, which is a new one. And we were talking about how to help teachers understand children, emotional development, and how to reach the children. So we just have a variety of different topics. I hope that entices people to come out.
Is there any particular presentation you're looking forward to?
Yes, I'll be doing professional development, and as well as Laista Cariñosa Academy teachers will be presenting a case study on a student on positive reinforcement and how that is working, and how it has worked over a couple of years.
Oh, you got to tell us more about that. Because the minute we mention corporal punishment on the show, they're going to be a few people saying,
"Oh no,
we turned out okay." Tell me about it.
Okay, when it comes to corporal punishment, you know, and I've always heard people saying, you know, I got hit, you know, I got beaten, you know, and I keep saying to people, it wasn't the corporal punishment that worked, you know. You know what worked? It was the community support. Because when you did something at school and you go home and you tell your parents, what happened? They supported by hitting you back, right? When you did something in the community and you go home and you reported that this person hit me because I stole a mango, mom supported that. It wasn't the hitting that worked, it was the support from the home community. So that is what worked. So what we are lacking now is the support from home. And so now we need to bridge that. Bring that bridge once again. So it wasn't the corporal punishment that worked. It was support from home.
Support from home.
You know? So if we have that support from the home, along with growing a child and the school working together, it is going to be an amazing.
So what type of positive reinforcement are you using at La Isla Cariñosa?
At La Isla Cariñosa, first of all, we don't punish our children. We don't shout at them. We don't hit them. We don't put them to pick up garbage, you know, because of a punishment. They do that if they want to. You see, they do that because, you know, it's something good, you know, help. We focus on rewards. We focus on not only rewards because you did something. You don't say, well, can I do this and I get this from teacher? No, that's not the way it works. You naturally, when we see, oh wow, you cleaned that area, that's wonderful, I really like that, you deserve a reward. And we've had children who have seen it working, and it's amazing how it worked. You know, we've seen children helping the school, helping their peers, helping the teachers, you know, not just for a reward, you know, but because they genuinely want to do it, you know. For assignments, you do your assignment because it's your responsibility to do your assignments, you know. And when we see that, wow, you did extra. As a matter of fact, you brought a question for the teacher that, you know, we need to go and explore, which is excellent. That is something that needs to be commended. And we need to reward teachers and students. It's not all about, some people are like, well, we can't just reward, but We also have the part whereby, we don't give rewards because, it's your responsibility.
Yeah. And I guess the question that most people have, we probably should set some background. Laisla Karen USA Academy is a school that you started in Kikaker.
Yes.
How many years now?
It's 3 years ago. We're in the 4th year.
Okay, entering your 4th year. Now, children have a lot of different struggles that they're dealing with, and we see it in their behavior. So how do you deal with ensuring that there is sufficient discipline or good behavior within the school if there is no punishment system?
You know what? It's the teacher understanding the child. Because when they act or react, it's not because of the classroom. There's something more. Yeah. There's something deeper. And we need to understand that. My teachers, we have professional development sessions every Monday.
Wow.
Every Monday we research and we find out ways to help. And I wish every principal would take that on. Having PD sessions every week, to address little concerns. How can we help this child to become a better person? Yeah. How can I help this teacher to be a better teacher? How can we understand? It's understanding the child, see? And so no matter what they do, we don't say they give trouble. We never use that. We don't give trouble. They behave in ways we don't understand. When we understand it, they'll be able to address it.
Yeah.
See?
Right. Exactly. Dr. August, I'm sure you have the local context enough to understand that there's some teachers watching and saying, how will I ever do that? If I have 30 to 40 students in my classroom, I have limited resources, I have children who are facing trauma, real, they have PTSD because of the violence within their homes and communities. And so the level of acting out is not just speaking out, it's bad behavior. What do you say to that teacher who says, yes, I'd love to do all of that, but let's keep it real, man?
I have it real. In my book, it speaks about it. Yeah. I've taught, I listen to these teachers, and they have these 3, 4 in a group of 30, 40 children. Yeah. I used to teach at a school that had all 25, 30 of them, in Southside Belize City, who had all of these issues. So it is possible. I didn't have 3, 4, 5. I had all of them. Who are children, who are boys and girls with all these different social and behavioral issues, but it takes it to understand one at a time. One at a time. I'm not going to say it's an easy task. Absolutely not. It is a challenging task, but it is possible to address them. And the number one thing that I found out that works is love and care. That's all a lot of these children care for, and crave. Love, care, and attention. Yeah. That is
and
what
as you said,
crave.
Some of these things are available in your book.
Yes, and it's real. I painted all the scenarios in this book are real. So when they listen to this about taking away a gun or bullets from children, those are real issues. About physical violence. In the classroom, those are real issues when they read those. Yeah. So
his teachers will be presenting. They will be there presenting. So this is an opportunity for other teachers within the community to come and actually talk with these teachers, and that would be helpful.
How can one be a part of the symposium?
They can just come and register between 7 and 8 on Friday, the 4th.
7 a.m., 8 a.m.
Right at the
Ramada Princess.
Yeah, they can register right there.
Right. Yeah. Is there a cost?
There is a fee, but it's a discounted fee for Belizeans. Yes.
Okay.
All right. And so it's going to be at the Ramada on Friday. That's the main symposium. And you'll be able to hear from presenters like Dr. August, as well as a number of international presenters as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Where can we get the book?
The book is available, will definitely be at the BICE conference. I'll be touring the country. Today I go to the Leo Bradley Library at 9 o'clock. At 1 o'clock I'll be in Orange Walk. And at 5 o'clock I'll be in Corozal at the different libraries around the country.
All right, you're staying busy, right?
It's a book tour.
I'm on a book tour.
Yes. Before you head out to Malaysia.
Yes, that's next year.
Thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about this.
Thank
and
you.
we really wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
And now we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll be doing some education of our own as we learn more about Kwanzaa. Stay tuned for more Open Your Eyes.